Well, welcome to another Memphis drawing. Today we're on drawing prompt 189. Let's take a look. Drawing prompt 189 is Something Futuristic. And we're going with something that's been futuristic for 100 years, and that is flying cars. If you want to see how we did it, stay tuned, because that's what we're going to do today. Today's prompt is something futuristic, and we all know they've been predicting flying cars forever. This was a prototype flying car from 1947, and they've made numerous flying cars, but they're basically bad cars and bad airplanes. Now, with the new drone technology they've come up with, we may be closer to flying cars than we think. But what I really like is the 1950s and 60s vision of flying cars that kind of look like this, the Jetsons. Let's, I ran this little picture off. Let's make our version of one of these little Jetson cars. When I was looking over the internet for something futuristic, which is today's prompt, I ran across all kinds of interesting stuff. And I can tell you what, people are terrible at predicting the future. Anyway, I was looking at some of the predictions people have made over the years. They're real easy to look up. Just got to be careful that you don't look at something and get fooled. If they have an agenda and they're trying to prove what a prophet someone was, and they start telling you all the things they got right. I remember back when I was a kid, there was this lady called Jean Dixon, who made all these amazing predictions. Of course, they only really talked about the ones she got right. If you make 10,000 predictions, probably at least 100 of them are going to be true. I'm putting this in there for sure. I think this is just special. We have there's a mom driving the flying car. There's the daughter standing up in the back seat. They got a bag of groceries here, and the dog sitting in the back seat. I'm going to try to put this in. This is great. People spend years learning how to fly helicopters, and in 1950, they figured just anybody could do it anytime. See what I mean about the, they make these predictions in the, you can only make them in the, you know, in the times they live in. And this drawing here that's our inspiration was, you know, drawn in the 1950s probably. And I can tell that by the style of the flying car. But another thing, they're flying into this little house here, and this is a, you know, an homage to Frank Lloyd Wright, who was a futuristic architect from the 40s and 50s. As I understand it, a pretty unsavory character, but I got the thing kind of blocked out. I'm going through and putting the detail in now. Well, yesterday's drawing just seems kind of washed out. You can hardly see it. It just, what we did is we just did the drawing, and then we went over it lightly with pencil. Maybe we should have gone over it darkly with pencil, I don't know. And before that, we did these drawings here that we thought maybe used a little bit too much color. I think on today's drawing, what we're going to do is I'm going to outline in color, like the hills here. I'll outline in green. And then the tree trunks here I'll outline in brown. I remember an anecdote about Frank Lloyd Wright. He told you he was a kind of an unsavory character. I don't remember the details, but he was a scoundrel. And the anecdote is, one time he said he didn't think the ordinary moral conduct applied to geniuses like him. Yep, he said it. Well, I'm going to give it one more try. I'm going to try to do this with just ink. Well, I got the inside of the car done first. I don't usually do that, but I want to use some of this light green for the far off mountains here. Put a little rail fence down here. Kind of give it some perspective. Keep our car white. Somewhat. Have our little dome here. I think they kind of invented these domes for the B-29 bomber during World War II. And then all the car people thought, well, gee, that's a good idea. Let's maybe we can do something like that for cars. It's an absolutely terrible idea for cars. It turns the inside of the car into a 150-degree oven. Now I gotta shade this dome to make it look like a dome. And basically take some black, go around the edge. That does it for Memphis drawing 189. Today's prompt was something futuristic, so we went with the obvious, flying cars. And we got our inspiration from this old drawing from the 50s. Let's see what tomorrow's prompt is. It is UFO. That'll be 190. Hope to see you tomorrow.